Okay class, so today is lecture number 8 week 2, right? And we were doing Pythagoras theorem in last class, and in last class we had discussed that Pythagoras applies only in right angle triangles. By right angle I meant that there is one angle of 90 degree, right? And the working formula for right angle triangle is hypotenuse square equal to opposite square plus adjacent square, right? And we know that how we pick the sides opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse, but in Pythagoras theorem the most important side is hypotenuse. It doesn't matter if you switch opposite and adjacent, it doesn't matter. Today we are going to do some example questions, and they are sort of example word problem question, but very easy, right? Let's suppose we have a question A, B, C, D is a square, and we need to find the length of its diagonal. Find length of its diagonal. Now first step, or it is good habit if you draw a rough sketch first. So let's say I make a square and side is given, that is 15 centimeter. It is given 15 centimeter, right? A, B, C, D. I need to find the length of the diagonal. So I can combine A and C or B and D, it's up to you, doesn't matter, because all four sides are equal, so diagonals are equal. And in square we know that this is a 90 degree angle. All angles are 90 degree, all vertices angle, that means A, B, C and D, right? So if it is a right angle triangle, that means you can apply Pythagoras here. The unknown is x, AC. If I draw this triangle separately, so it's basically a right angle triangle with vertices A, B, C. We know that the length of B and C is 15, the length of A and B is 15, the length of A and C is x. Now if we apply Pythagoras here, it will be x square is equals to 15 square plus 15 square. 15 square is 225 plus 225, right? So 225 plus 225, it will be 450, and root of 450 is 21.2. So that is the length of our diagonal, right? Now moving on to another example. Similar question, but now I say that we have a P, Q, R, S is a rectangle. The first one is a square and this one is a rectangle. The length we know is PQ is 24 centimeter and QR is 15. Find the length of diagonal. Diagonal QS, right? First step is always make a sketch. So I make a rectangle, label P, Q, R, S. Sides we know PQ is 24 and QR is 15. We know that it is a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. If QR is 15, that means PS is also 15. If PQ is 24, that means SR is also 24. We know that we need to find the length of QS. So QS is basically a diagonal, right? And P is a 90 degree. We know that all angles are 90 in a rectangle, right? So if I draw triangle PQS separately, it will look like this. P, QS. PQ is 24, PS is 15, and we need to find the length of QS. Now again you can solve it by using Pythagoras. It will be x square is equals to 15 square plus 24 square. So 15 square is 225 plus 24 square is 576. Now 576 plus 225 under root gives you a value of 28.3. Why under root? Because x in square form. We need to eliminate square. Right? So that's how we can do word problem of Pythagoras theorem. Next one, example number 3. Now it says ABCD is a square. Length of BD is known, that is 16 centimeter. Calculate the area. We need to find the area of square and length of diagonal. At this point I need you to stop the video and solve the question by yourself, right? So first step, you need to plot the diagram, sketch the diagram. So let's suppose that is in a square, A, B, C, D sides, right? If the length of BD is 16, that means we know the value of diagonal as well. So BD is 16, so we know the length of diagonal, right? We need to find the area. If the length of AD is, let's suppose, A, then the length of AB is also X, right? Because all sides in a square are equal and this angle is 90 degree. So first step, we need to find the value of X. Applying Pythagoras, it will be 16 square is equals to X square plus X square, right? 16 square is 256, x square plus x square is 2x square. Now 2 is multiplying with the x, on the left side it will be divided by 256 and it will be 128 is equals to x square. Applying root on both sides, so x is equals to 11.3, right? We know the value of x. Now area will be what? Area of a square is basically length square. Length we had find out 11.3 square, and 11.3 square is 128. So that is an area of a square, right? If someone has a question that why we cannot use 16 in L square, because 16 is not the length, 16 is a diagonal, and the working formula for square is length square. Length is AB or BC or CD or AD. These are 4 lengths. Diagonal is not the length we can take in our area formula, right? Okay, next one. Now this time let's suppose we have a shape called trapezium. Example. Now how our trapezium look like? That is a trapezium in which these two sides are parallel, right? We know that A, B, C, D. The length of BC is 12, AB is X, AD is 19 and CD is 13. We need to find the value of X first, right? And then we need to find X and area of trapezium. Now first thing, what is a trapezium? Trapezium is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means a four-sided figure. Trapezium is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides. Like in our question, we have AD and BC are parallel. So its condition is it must have only one pair of parallel side. Either AB or CD is parallel or AD or BC is parallel. So only one pair of parallel sides should be present in trapezium. Now the working formula for area. So area of a trapezium is 1 upon 2 sum of parallel sides multiply by height. That is a working formula for trapezium area. So in our case, basically x is unknown, right? And x is our height in this case. Now if I draw a line from this point C to the line AD, if AB is x, that means this line will also be x, that is x, right? Now from A to D we have a length of 19. From B to C we have a length of 12. So if I subtract 12 from 19, I will get this length, right? So this length, it will be 19 minus 12 is equals to 7. So the length is 7, right? It is also a right angle triangle, and let's suppose that I label this point as T. This point is T. Now I got a triangle CTD, and if I draw it separately, CTD, CD is known 13, TD we have find out 7, and CT is basically x. Now you need to find the value of x, right? Applying Pythagoras, as this angle is 90, it will be 13 square is equals to x square plus 7 square. 13 is my hypotenuse, right? So 13 square is 169 is equals to x square plus 49. So 169 minus 49, it will be 120. So x square is equals to 120. Now applying root on both sides. So x is 10.95. That is the height of trapezium, right? Now come back to area. Area is 1 upon 2 sum of parallel sides multiplied by height. Height is known, that is 10.95. We have just find it out. Sum of parallel sides. Now the parallel sides are 19 and 12. So I am going to write 19 plus 12. Right? So 1 upon 2, 19 plus 12, 31 times 10.95. Solve it. It will be 169.7. 169.7 centimeter square. That is an area of a trapezium. All lengths are in centimeter, right? So that's how you find the area of a trapezium. Make sure that you have learned its formula. That is very important, and you should know how we use this working formula, right? So I hope that this question is clear to you, the trapezium one. And let me tell you, at the end of this lecture, I will provide you a worksheet of the same topic, Pythagoras. So you need to complete it by yourself, attempt all the questions, right, and submit it on the given deadline. At the end of the lecture you will see it. So right now I'm going to do some example questions, and these example questions, like these questions, you have questions in your worksheet. Now let's suppose I have a triangle. This question you need to try it by yourself first, so stop the video when I complete the question. I have a triangle A, B, C and D. So right angle triangle, 10, 6, x, 5. Question is find x. Now you need to stop the video, solve this question by yourself. Solution. We need to find the value of x. For this purpose, first we need to find the length of B to D, right? If this angle is 90 degree, that means this angle is also 90 degree, because a straight line has an angle of 180 degree. If I plot the diagram A, B, D separately, A, B, D. AB is 10, BD is Y, and AD is 6. Can we find the value of Y? If your answer is yes, then you should try it by yourself first. If your answer is no, then you should really concentrate on this topic now. The hypotenuse is opposite to 90, that is 10. So it will be 10 square is equals to 6 square plus y square. Either you write it y square plus 6 square, it doesn't matter. Both are in the square form and both are added to one another. 10 square is 100 is equals to 6 square 36 plus y square. So it will be 100 plus 36 on the left side minus 36 equal to y square. 100 minus 36, it will be 64, right? So 64 is equals to y square. Now you need to apply root to cancel the square sign. So root of 64 is 8 is equals to y. Now if anyone has a question in your mind that why we are not taking plus minus 64, so keep in mind that we are dealing with lengths, right? These are the lengths of a triangle, and length can never be negative sign. Therefore, we are not taking the negative one. We are dealing with positive one only. Now we know the value of y. If I complete the figure now, so it will be like this, another point C, right? We know that from B to C is x and C to D is 5. I just completed this figure here so you can understand it better now. We know that this angle is 90 degree. Now I am going to apply Pythagoras to the triangle BDC, right? So hypotenuse is x square is equals to y square plus 5 square. Now you know the value of y, that is 8 square plus 5 square. 8 square is 64, 5 square is 25. So 64 plus 25, it is 89. 89 is equals to x square root on both sides. So x is equals to 9.43. Right? That is your answer. Did you try it? And if your answer is right, then you are on the right pace. If your answer is wrong, no matter, make sure that you understand the question along with its concept clearly. Okay, example. Identify which triangle is a right angle triangle. Identify which triangle is a right angle triangle. Let me give you some sides. A 48, 50, 14. 48 centimeter, 50 centimeter and 14 centimeter. I will give you similar question like this for practice. First, let me explain it to you. Identify which triangle is a right angle triangle. What you guys need to do first, make a right angle triangle. That is a right angle triangle, right? Which one is the longest side? 50. 50 is the longest side, that means 50 should be my hypotenuse. So this length is 50. The rest two sides, it's up to you. Either you pick 14 or 48, you can switch between these two sides. The most important side is hypotenuse, that is 50, and I highlighted it. After that you need to apply Pythagoras. So it will be 50 square is equals to 14 square plus 48 square. Now you see that there isn't any unknown in this, right? So simplify it further. 50 square is 2500, 14 square is 196 plus 48 square is 2304. We are going to add these two sides, so it will be 2500 is equals to 2304 plus 96, it will be 2304 plus 196, it will be 2500. Since left hand side and right hand side, they both are equal, so we can say that this triangle is a right angle triangle. You see, we can use Pythagoras to identify that the triangle is a right angle triangle or not. I hope that you got an idea. Let's suppose if these two sides are not equal, let's suppose it will be 3000 equal to 2500. Now these two sides, if they are not equal, means the triangle is not a right angle triangle. Right, so part A I had done. In red pen I am going to write your homework. Part B, 34, 30, 16 centimeter. Part C, 81 centimeter, 75 centimeter and 30 centimeter. Part D, 66 centimeter, 23 centimeter and 70 centimeter. So these three questions are your homework with the same technique as I have explained you in part A. Right? So moving on, if you guys face any problem in any of the part, you can ask me, right, in your next session. So another example. Now I'm giving you some easy one, so you need to attempt it by yourself first. Let's suppose 13, 12, x. You need to start it by yourself first and then I will explain you. So part 2. Part 3, you need to do it, beta. Now there are 3 example questions on your screen. I hope that many of you had attempted 1, 2 and 3 and most of you got the right answers, inshallah. So let's start with 1. We know that it is a right angle triangle, right? 90 degrees mentioned. We need to find the value of x, so Pythagoras is best suited for this question, which says hypotenuse square is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square. H square, that means 13 square, opposite square, that means x square plus 12 square, right? So 13 square is 169 is equals to x square plus 12 square is 144. Now you need to subtract these two. 169 minus 144 is equals to x square. If you subtract 169 and 144, it will be 25. Now applying root on both sides, so x is equals to 5. Again the same reason, only positive 5, not negative 5, because we are dealing with lengths and length can never be negative. Next part, again a right angle triangle, Pythagoras theorem for y. First need to apply the working formula. So 9 square hypotenuse is equals to 7 square plus y square. So 9 square is 81, 7 square 49 plus y square. So 81 minus 49, it will be 32. So 32 is equals to y square, root on both sides, it will be 5.65. Last one, again 90 degree angle, Pythagoras for A. First apply the working formula. Hypotenuse is A, opposite 90 degree. A square is equals to 7 square plus 4 square. 7 square is 49, 4 square 16 is equals to A square, right? So 49 plus 16 is equals to 65 is equals to A square. Applying root on both sides, so root 65 is equals to 8.06, so A is equals to 8.06 centimeter, right? So in your worksheet you will face such type of questions. You need to attempt it by yourself and make sure that you are not making any mistake while calculation. You are picking the right values for the right sides. The repeatedly silly mistake in this topic is that mostly students pick or mix the wrong sides. Instead of hypotenuse they will pick 12 and instead of opposite they will write hypotenuse. So that is a very common mistake repeatedly occurs in Pythagoras theorem. Although topic is easy, working is easy, formula is very easy, right? But you need to identify the correct sides, otherwise it will be wrong. After this question, you can have a look of worksheet on your screen, right? And I'm going to explain it to you, but you need to do it by yourself. You can have the soft copy of this worksheet at the end of this lecture, right? So write by yourself. It's an easy worksheet. Starting with part A. In part A, at first thing, we are dealing with a right angle triangle. The side opposite to 90 degree is 15, right? So hypotenuse is known, opposite is known, and adjacent is what we are looking for. You need to find the value of adjacent, easy by using Pythagoras theorem, right? So I hope that you have an idea how to solve this one. Next one. In part 2, you see that hypotenuse, the side opposite to 90 degree, is unknown. So rest two sides are known. Don't confuse with the units. IN means inches. It doesn't matter, your hypotenuse will be inches as well. So 5 and 2, opposite and adjacent sides are known. You can find hypotenuse by using Pythagoras. Same working formula, that is hypotenuse square is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square. Make sure that you take the root at the last step. Moving to question number 3. Hypotenuse known, adjacent known, opposite unknown. 90 degree, again right angle triangle, apply Pythagoras in the same way. Moving on the next one. Which side is unknown? Hypotenuse unknown. Rest two sides known. Again Pythagoras, right? After that hypotenuse, it is known, right? when hypotenuse is known and any of the other side is unknown, that means that now we need to subtract. Now there is no addition like this one. In this part you will need to subtract opposite from the hypotenuse after squaring it, right? And make sure that at the last step you are taking under root as well. Part 6, hypotenuse unknown, that means there is an addition, right? Where hypotenuse is unknown, addition. Next question, 7th, hypotenuse unknown, that means addition. 8th one, hypotenuse known, that means subtraction in this question, right? 9th, hypotenuse unknown, that means addition, and now it says YD. YD is the unit of yards. Don't confuse with the units, your working remains same, right? So you need to square them, add them, and at the last you need to find under root. So I hope that all of you have a good idea how to attempt your worksheet, and I hope that all of you do it right. The last question of today's class is an example question, and let's suppose you have a question and the sides are 5a, 2a, 3a. You need to find the value of a. How you are going to do that? The same method, Pythagoras, it will be 5a square is equals to 2a square plus 3a square. So 5a square, 25a square, 2a square, 4a square, 3a square, 9a square, right? So 25a square is equals to 4 plus 9 is 13a square. Sorry, one mistake, this part is only 3, not 3a. So that means it will be 3 only, so it will be 9 only, and we need to solve after this, right? So it will be 3 square, that means 9. Okay, so now it will be 25a square plus 4a square. On the left side it will be minus 4a square is equals to 9. 25 minus 4, it's 21. A square is equals to 9, and a square is equals to 9 divided by 21. So 3 times 3 is and 3 times 7. So a square is equals to 3 divided by 7, root on both sides. So 3 divided by 7, we need to do calculation by calculator. It's 0.428, and root of it will be 0.65. So the final answer of A is 0.65. So that's how you find an unknown by using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so that's all for today's class. I hope that all of you have a good idea of Pythagoras now and how to solve different variety of questions. In next class we are continuing with the same topic but with more questions, right? I hope that all of you will attempt your homework. If there is anything you need to ask, feel free to ask me, right? Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.